Welcome to another episode of the Wolf's Den podcast. We have another lovely guest with us. I will let her introduce herself and what is it that you do?
Okay, so my name is Jimilia Isidore. I'm 27 years old. I consider myself to be a fashion entrepreneur because not only do I do fashion design, I also do hair. I also have an online thrift business here in Saint Lucian. It's for fashion accessories. Usually, thrifting is for like clothing and everything, but for now, I limit it to fashion accessories. So it can work hand in hand with my fashion business. So yeah, I do hair. I also sell journals. I'm just all about the entrepreneurial life.
Okay, sounds like you're a serial entrepreneur, somebody who has lots of startups and dabble in lots of different things.
Yes, because I'm very creative, so every path I take, like in creativity wise, I just find a way to make it into a business because I don't like to just keep my stuff to myself. I like to share. So yeah.
You like to share. That means you have lots of siblings and you've grown up in a household of sharing.
Yes, 5 brothers.
Wow.
No
Okay.
sisters.
Must have been tough.
I was like the princess, so
Must have been perfect.
yeah. Yeah.
Great, awesome. So let's go back to the beginning. What did you go to school, where and whatnot, and did that affect your journey in any way?
So I studied business administration at SAFA. Like that's what I always wanted to get into business. Unfortunately, I didn't graduate. I had a car accident and it's a whole story. And after that, I started my business. So I started my business whilst I was in SAFA.
Wow.
Creating clothes for people. And then after I realized like I wasn't graduating after the accident and stuff, I just dive into my business, like working for myself, making clothes for people and stuff. Soon after, probably a year after, I traveled to Canada to study fashion, art, and business. I did that for 2 years. I worked in Adidas as a visual merchandising manager because visual merchandising is all part of like the business side of fashion because you can have like the nicest clothes, but if you don't know how to market it, because visual merchandising is like marketing. So if you don't know how to market and put it together, then no one will see the true beauty of clothing. So I worked there for 1 year and I decided that, you know what, I was done with the cold first of all. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to come back home and I'm going to start. I save up enough money, I think. I'm going to come back home and start. But I came back, I tried relaunching. I had a whole bunch of stuff happening at that time because I been away from my family for like so long. I came back and it didn't work out as planned. But right now I'm just like working on the back end and trying to put everything together so I can actually relaunch. Yeah.
Okay, so Canada, how was that?
It was a very different experience. Like I said, I didn't really enjoy the cold at all. Looking at the snow from my bedroom was nice, but being in it and going to work, it was too much. But the experience was nice. I learned a lot about fashion. I even learned thrifting there, where you would go shop and get clothing that people no longer need. It's still in good condition, but they no longer want it. You know how fashion is already. One moment it's up, one moment it's down.
Right.
But yeah, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Correct.
So you go, you find some gems, and then you take it and then you style it together, and yeah, it's amazing. It's affordable. It's you helping the planet. Yeah.
Okay, so you said you learned thrifting. Is that through your own like experiment, or you had somebody who taught it to you?
Okay, so in my fashion school, we had a course called Ethics and Sustainability, and there they spoke about how fast fashion is bad for the environment. So through that, they entered into thrifting and why thrifting is good for the fashion industry. So for that, I got like a more better reason for me to thrift. So not only the clothes were like cheap, like you would get really nice looking vintage kind of looking clothes. That'd be cool. Nobody has it, but you're also like lessening on your carbon footprint and helping the environment, and that was a plus for me.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's how it's. But okay, so how is it good for the industry though? Like that's how it's good for the environment, but how is it good for the industry?
The fashion industry.
Yeah, the thrifting. How is it good for it?
For the industry. Okay, so first of all, you could use vintage clothing and upcycle it. So for example, if I get a dress that someone no longer like, I could take it and like create something beautiful out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that means not only are we helping the environment by using something, but we're adding more to make it into like something new, something fashionable. So that's how I can see it working hand in hand with the fashion industry and also the accessories. So you could have like a really nice dress that you bought from or you made from wherever, and then style it with some bag or shoe that you found in thrifting and make it look new.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like creating new products from old.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
So you said you started at Saint Lucian.
Yeah.
How did that launch go?
Well, it went well because from school, like I transitioned, so I had customers from school, from Corinth, because I was sewing from since secondary school. So everybody in my secondary school already knew that I could have sewn. And then went to Sir Arthur, everybody knew I could have sewn in my class and everything. So it's like the transition and like getting customers, clients was easy. And yeah, it was going well until I left and I went to school. And obviously, like, since I'm not being consistent, it simmered down. Yeah. So.
Okay, so and since you're passionate about it, you wanted to restart it.
Yes, because that have always been my dream. And I'm one to always preach, stick to your dreams no matter what. I fell in love with fashion since I was 9 years, and my goal has always been to have my own business. And no matter how long that's going to take me, I'm going to do it one day. Have my own little fashion company, fashion empire, I like to say. Yes, so have my own little fashion empire. It will incorporate so many different things, styling, teaching, like just so many different things I have in store for my fashion empire.
Well, I can't wait to see what that empire will look like.
Yes.
So that's interesting. The fact that you have such, you've had that dream since you were 9.
Yeah.
Can you remember what influenced you to have that dream?
Yes, I talk about it all the time. So yeah, Bratz is a show about 4 girls that they're friends, they go to school together, and they just always look good. But they had one of them in particular that make her own clothing, and she would always stand out, and everybody know. Like Jade, her name was Jade. Jade is a fashionista, and I was like, she's a kind of like Asian looking girl, but she was like so different. And I love the fact that, whenever she make her clothes, she would stand out. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be her. I want to stand out.
Right.
And from then I just like started making doll clothes, and then gradually, yeah.
So, and that was from 9?
That was from 9. And I would say my grandparents played a major part in that, in nurturing my love for sewing and fashion, because my grandmother was a seamstress back in the days, and my grandfather was a tailor back in his days. And that's all different sides of the family. So my mother's mother was a seamstress, and my father's father was a tailor. So it's like my grandmother, so my mother's mother, she would show me how to cut, show me how to sew in my hands, and my grandfather would have like extra cloth he would give me, and then he actually gave me my first sewing machine at 13 years, I think. And yeah, from then it's just been on my way up, like just improving.
Right. So all like literally a skyrocket from then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, how has it been opening? I mean, a thrift store is something that we don't really have in Saint Lucia.
Yeah.
So how has that been navigating an unknown industry in Saint Lucia?
Okay. So when I opened it, like a few people told me like they've heard of it, but it's like so amazing that I bring it down. They would love the experience to like for it to be like in a store and then for them to walk around and see everything. But I'm telling you, like it's all in the making. Like in the future, yes. So they were really excited. I find people participated. So how I do it is like I would post and ask people like if they have stuff that they want to sell. Then I tell them like I give them like a little contract saying like I will get a percentage of the money of the sale for like marketing and just keeping the product, and you would make like the majority of it. So I got a few people to give me some of their old stuff that was really good, and I resell it for other people that was interested in buying it. And that went on for like let's say 5 months until I ran out of product, and I didn't have time because I was working on my other business, so I didn't have time to market it again and advertise. So yeah, all that's in the making.
So you said other business. What other business?
Oh, my clothing business. Because I was trying to relaunch it, like I said, I was trying to relaunch it. So I actually, when I realized that my relaunch wasn't going to go as planned, I just came up with another idea because I had a whole bunch of like fashion accessories from Canada I came down with, and I was no longer going to use them. So I said, okay, what am I going to do? I was going to have a garage sale. I'm like, that's no. I think I will make it into a thrift store and then I'll sell it like that. Yeah, I was planning to do a garage sale. I'm like, you know what? Since I love thrifting and I miss it so much, I'm going to do like a thrift shop. It's new. It's something I believe that people would be excited about, especially with fashion accessories. I believe before it wasn't so popular in Saint Lucia, but lately I've seen girls like been matching their shades, their shoes and their bags, and I'm like, okay, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing in Saint Lucia. And you spend so much money on a product, for example, a bag, a shoes, a shades, and you don't really want to style these three things over and over again. So you could sell it for you make you some money back. You could either purchase some more or buy what we have in the thrift store because other people are bringing their stuff. So they might not want it, but you will see them and you'll be like, okay, that's a gem. I have an outfit that can definitely match with that. So yeah, and then you put it together. So that was my idea, and it was received well. I just needed to keep consistent. That's one of my struggles, so being consistent.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think it's really about. At the end of the day, everybody has ideas and dreams and whatnot, but unless you stick to something consistently, it's never going to like go into fruition like you want it to.
Yes.
But I mean, the fact that you have all these ideas and you don't let anything stop you.
Yeah.
That's the point of this podcast. For people who have the ideas, but then they for whatever reason they're stopped.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're afraid, but the point is they're stopped. So what can you say to that, or at least just give your experience as to why you're the go-getter?
Okay, so first of all, what I say is I love having my end goal in mind. So we spoke about this earlier, vision boards, that's my thing. So seeing my vision, seeing what I want to accomplish with my life, it gives me the motivation to keep going, keep pushing and not giving up on my dream. Because I don't want to settle for just living a normal basic life when I know I am wonderfully and fearfully made by God and I have potential. Like I have talent, I have potential, I can give so much. So I don't want to just limit myself. And so I put my vision board up. I always have in mind what I want to get. So that's always my push for me to keep on going. And I don't want, for example, if I have a business idea and I sleep on it, And so, for example, if I had the thrift idea, like it's a new idea in Saint Lucian, it's still online, but I could say I came up with it first. So I don't want to sleep on it. And then, like 5 years down the line, somebody come up with the thrift idea, and it's like, I had that idea, and why didn't I go after it?
Right.
Yeah, so I want to like put out everything. Even if it's not 100, it will get there. Eventually, if I continue working on it, it will get to where I want it to be. So that's always my thing.
Okay.
Just put it out, put it out, put it out. Yeah.
And like you said, we did speak about vision boards. So, where did you learn about vision boards? Where did you learn about vision boards?
YouTube. So there's this girl on YouTube I follow. I've been following her for years, and she's been speaking about like just putting your visions, having a vision board and watching where you want to go. It keeps you motivated. So for mine, I kind of made it mine. I used to have my school criteria when I was going to college. I put that on the wall, and like I would check it every semester, and I pass a course. I would check it and write the percentage I got, and I felt like that gave me a boost. So like next semester, I know I have 7 subjects for me to tick off my wall, and I need to tick them off my wall. So yeah, that gave me a boost. So I'd say like she inspired me, but also just my personal drive. It kept me.
Yeah,
because that was like 2019, I think I learned about it, and up until now I do that. And checklists, I love checklists too.
Yeah, I mean, based on what we discussed too, yours is more in depth than what I do, right? So that already shows that you naturally have the drive.
Yeah,
and it's basically you just learned a tool to basically help you be more you.
Yeah, basically.
That's great. So as YouTube you learned that, okay. So I like that it's from YouTube in a sense, because that's not something that's taught in the curriculum here in Saint Lucia. I mean, I didn't hear about vision boards through Saint Lucia either. So that shows that even if we're not taught it here, we can still access the information online. And how much do you attribute that information, the tools that you've picked up, towards your success that you've had in the business life journey?
How do I
attribute, like how much do you attribute those tools, like the vision board and everything else that you learned, towards your success in business?
Okay, so I would say I use vision boards for if I have to create a garment. I get inspiration and I put them all together. I do it on Pinterest. I don't print it out and put it on my wall. Maybe I should start doing that. But I put it on Pinterest. So just the whole concept of seeing exactly what I want. And then also checklist is so important. Like I cannot make a garment for someone if I don't use a checklist. So like I know today I have to cut and sew. I have to redo something. I need to do something. I write it down so I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm on point with customers' projects. And that's how I would say I use what I learned. And also, I taught how to create your own vision board on my very first YouTube channel I started in 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have YouTube. It haven't been up for like ever since I came down to Saint Lucia. I haven't been working on it. I still trying to get everything in order, because lighting and environment, sound is all like great components to a great video. So I am working on all these things before I could start back YouTube. Yeah.
So it sounds like you have a lot in the work.
A lot going on.
Okay, so how would you rate yourself on managing your time and managing all these different projects that you're doing?
I still need help with time management, because although I do a lot of different little things, I still feel like I could be more productive if I spend less time off social media. So I would take breaks every now and then from social media, but I would say I still have to work on managing my time. Yeah, the checklists help me too. So if I know I have these 5 things to complete today or before that specific time, then I will make sure I do it. And if I don't do it, I'll push it for the next day and get it done.
But you kept on track because of the list that you have written down. Yeah.
I have to, like, I feel like I plan, like I have a planner, but on the planner I write my checklist. I feel like if I don't do that, then my mind will go all over the place because I have so many ideas and so many things happening. So I have to have my checklist.
Right. I mean, what you're living is literally the testimonial, where that's what everybody preaches in terms of when you're doing business. You write down the goal, you make it plain and simple, but the important thing is you write it down. And then you keep track, especially when you're doing multiple things. There's an app a friend of mine told me about. I think it's called Trello, something like that, where it's like an organization app where you can create boards, and then on the boards create like different posts, and each thing you can share. So exactly, so it's a collaborative kind of thing too, where if you have a team member, you can create like a board that's say thrift store, and then in that board you'll be creating everything that you need. Okay, today we're going to do the website. Okay, I have Derek doing the website for me, so you invite Derek onto it, and then you give him tasks. Okay, Derek, I want you to create the homepage today. These are the pictures you need to use, and then blah blah. So he could then see what you want. This kind of organization, like exactly.
You give me more information about that app. So.
Definitely. So like apps like these are crucial because you're already doing it. You're writing it down and making sure you have everything in plain sight. Except that now you can use technology to help that.
Because I don't have to travel. Like I always travel with my planner, and if I have it on my phone, I use Notes, Samsung Notes, Apple Notes. But if I could get an app where I can put everything together, that would be perfect. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you definitely already apply technology. Like you remember, you mentioned Pinterest.
Yeah.
So you do apply modern techniques to the traditional sewing and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't use Pinterest. I don't see that. There's no purpose for me.
It helps. In every different thing. If you want to design a room, you use Pinterest. You put like what the idea is on the type of chair you want, the type of curtain, the type of. I do Pinterest for everything. Everything. If I plan a party, I put the decor ideas. A wedding, the ideas.
So maybe you can teach me Pinterest because that's interesting. I never thought about I can decorate a room. I'm actually a project I'm doing where I'm trying to build, and I do need to look at some room decoration. So
definitely.
Then again, maybe after podcast you show me. Great. So back to your business. Our businesses, I should say. Where do you see, but you mentioned the empire, but can you elaborate more on what the empire is or entails?
Okay, so my plans is to have even if it's not like the biggest, but a fashion institution in Saint Lucian, because we don't have that. If there's a way, I could contact the place where I was going to school, the college, the institution I was studying at. It's like a fashion business institution, and then there are fashion institutions where you actually make clothes and stuff. If I could find a way where I could create a pathway, so from my little institution in Saint Lucia, create a pathway for graduates to go to Canada or even Miami or wherever. I am not limiting myself. If there's a way I could create a pathway for Saint Lucians to go over to study even more about fashion, then But that's what I want to do. I want to have a school. I want to have a storefront, and I want to have the back end where all the fashion designing and construction and everything is coming together. That's my dream.
So what would the storefront house?
Women's, or maybe men's too, because I'm trying to get into men's. I try to, because from ages, from time I was in secondary school, my art teacher, because I did visual arts, my art teacher was like, Julia, you should really get into men's. I'm like, soon. It's been almost 10 years. I haven't done men's. So I want to get into men's because I feel like it's a needed area. You see fashion for women all the time, everywhere. If I could get into men's and do both, then that'd be good. Like, for women would be my the top of my thing, my specialty section, and then I can have men's and maybe children too. But yeah.
So, but it would be just a storefront for like clothes.
Clothes, yeah.
What about the thrift store idea? You're gonna go with that too? That's not part
That's
of your
going to be separate from. It's going to be it's going to be part of my fashion institution, but it's going to be like a separate store. Or if I could fit it in the fashion empire, then it can be in the fashion empire. Like, I can have the accessories, so you could buy a clothes and then we could show you how to style using stuff from our thrift store. Or if you don't want to buy like ready-made clothes, then you could buy at the thrift store. Like, it's for everybody. So you want like pricey, high cost, high end kind of fashion, you come to there. You cannot afford it really, you want something really good, you could go down to the thrift store and shop away. Yeah, so.
And do you plan to expand outside of Saint Lucia?
Yeah, definitely. The opportunity presents itself. I would like to go through the Caribbean and then internationally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why the Caribbean first?
Because I feel like we always get left behind. Why all the nice things have to be in America, in the US, in Canada? We can use the same thing. But yeah, why it has to be there? Like, we have a lot of talent and a lot of like great things happening in the Caribbean. And I'm Saint Lucian. I am from the Caribbean. I want my country. I want my people to, expand. So I'll cater for them first. I'll check for them first. Yeah.
Check for them first.
Yeah. That's why I always say, like, I know there's bigger and better opportunities in Canada in terms of fashion. However, I feel like I'm a Saint Lucian. I want to be labeled as a Saint Lucian for at least for the beginning of my career, and then I can expand. Because even if I go to, when I'm in Saint Lucia, everybody says, "Oh my gosh, you don't need to be in Saint Lucia. You need to go over whatever." Go to Canada, they were saying the same thing about, like, I need to go to America. Like, I am too big for Canada. It's like, I don't belong here, whatever. And I'm like, everywhere I go, they will just keep telling me the same thing. So I rather just build myself, learn my country, my beautiful small country, learn the ins and outs, and then I can expand and travel the world. But then I know my country. I know how things operate in my country. Right. And I check for my people.
I mean, that's definitely one thing. People always have something to say.
Yep.
And they always will give their opinion, most times unwarranted. Definitely didn't ask for it. And I feel like if you want to listen to people, they'll send you left, right, and center.
Yeah, you cannot please humans. Like, it took me a while to learn that. You cannot, like, you will do what they ask you to do and they'll find something else that you're not doing.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know what, I'm listening to myself, where I feel I belong, where God leads me, because I'm a Christian on Christianity, so I believe in God giving me, showing me my purpose, and I believe He showed me my purpose, and where He lead me, like, if God didn't give you a message for me, or He didn't show you, He said, like, hey, that's the vision I have for Jimilia. If He didn't do that, then don't come and complain about what I'm doing. Don't do that, because God didn't show you the vision. He showed me the vision. I know what I'm doing in my life. It's just learning that you have to do what's best for yourself. At the end of the day, you only have yourself. If everybody around you die, or they get married, or they go off, you're left with yourself, and then you'll be like, what did I do? What did I accomplish for myself? Why am I not feeling fulfilled? So I always preach that, like, your happiness is what matters at the end of the day.
Very powerful. I mean, it's true what you said, but it's clear that you would have gained that clarity through your religion.
Yeah.
The power that you have.
Yeah.
And your driving force.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'd say through my religion, but definitely through experience. Yeah, because you could learn one thing for a religion, but if you don't experience it, you'll not hit home. But so from my experience, everything just made sense and became so much clearer, like what I was preached in the religion, what I was taught in the religion. Yeah, so definitely experience.
That's great. I truly wish everybody can, get that experience and definitely try.
Yeah.
To me, that's what's most important. You just need to try. You have all these goals, you have all these dreams. Just try.
Yeah, just try. Just put it out. And a lot of us too, we're perfectionists. I'm working on it. So it's like if I don't have a set up exactly the way I want it to be, I will not go out and put something until I had to tell myself, you know what, you just have to put it out and it will grow eventually. Like just put it out, just set the foundation. That's all you need to do. Set the foundation and work out at it. Try to be consistent, and eventually you will get to the point where you want to be. But if you stay there and you procrastinate and you don't put nothing out, then you have nothing working for you. You have nothing. Yeah, so you have to at least put something out and then watch it grow.
Yeah. And in my experience, most times, whatever you had planned originally, the second you put something out, you realize, oh, that's not as feasible as I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe this needs to change, and then this needs to change, and you adapt.
Yeah.
Whereas you would never have.
You never learned this.
Exactly. You never learned it had you not tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even this podcast, like, I'm sure most of you wouldn't even notice the little editing errors or the editing mistakes, lessons that I've gone through in doing this, and that's how I do it by myself.
Yeah.
I know eventually I would have an editor and whatnot, but at least I would have learned the skill and to know what to look for and whatnot. Because imagine when I first started, it was actually my friend who did that setup for me, and the light you saw me doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
The camera, everything was not even me. Yeah, so that's something I learned and improving on and whatnot. So it's definitely important to just do it.
Yeah, just that. And in about 10 years time, your podcast will be up and running and you won't have these petty mistakes. Yeah, so that's good. That's good that you started.
Yeah, I think that's just a common message amongst all my episodes. I find everybody who's come here, all they say is just get started. Just do it like Nike.
Yeah, just do it like Nike.
Okay, so but you mentioned you doubled on your empire, but outside of the school and the thrift store, is there anything else that you want to do in your fashion empire?
I also want to do visual merchandising, but I'll also be like part of the school. Like one of my plans is to also teach visual merchandising, because like I said previously, it's important. If you don't wear or style clothes or something properly, like people will not want to buy it. If you just have like a shirt folded in a corner, who going to see it and who going to want to put it on? You need to put it on like a body form and show like, okay, this is how that's going to look if it's on me. If it's moving, if I'm active, this is how it's going to look. So I believe like I can, I want to teach that, and then I could use some of the students to work in my storefront, so they could help me, create an atmosphere for my customers in the storefront where it's inviting. So yeah, that's one of the plans, visual merchandising.
Okay, and that's what you did at Adidas, right?
Yeah.
And you said it's basically marketing.
It's basically marketing, like, because it's through eyes, sight, smell, sound. So the music have to match the tone that you set in. Then the smells in the store have to be cohesive with the outfits that's portrayed, the clothing that's portrayed, and everything just like it matches everything. So it's like you're not going out and tell people, but if someone passing by your store, certain things you'll see that's different, it will stand out. So probably a way you style a shirt, they never seen that shirt style like that, so they'll be intrigued. They want, you know what, I want to buy that shirt and I'm going to style it just like that. Yeah, so
that's good. I mean, that's important.
Yeah, I'll show you some of the stuff I did at Adidas. Yeah.
Is like a portfolio that you have?
I have pictures, but yeah.
Okay. And do you use that, like that sort of portfolio for like now? Do you use it as a remembrance, like to remind yourself what you did, or do you actually like approach, I don't know, suppliers with it and stuff like that?
No, not yet, but that's a good idea. Honestly, now you said it, I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Like just putting all that together, show people that I do have skill and talent and a passion for what I do. Because yeah, like all that is part of fashion. Styling is part of fashion. So if I could put that together, then you'd see like, wow, she definitely is about that life. So yeah, thanks for the idea.
You're welcome. That'd be $500.
I'm doing too much.
And have you ever seen yourself outside of fashion? So you've accomplished what you wanted to accomplish with it. Do you see yourself like branching out of fashion and doing other things? You still have the store there and still have it's there, but you're branching out?
Something I'm interested in too is probably gardening, but not like with flowers, like food. I want to grow my own food. I'll probably turn that one into a business. Knowing me, probably turn it into a business. And I like cooking too, so it's like maybe I will go into that. But it all depends on like I want to have a family, I want to have a big family. Hopefully I can get somebody that can agree on like 8 children.
8.
And then
not
we have like a large
3, not 4. 8.
Okay, I'm exaggerating, but yeah, I want to have like a big family. Yeah.
Okay, so after the fashion empire is built, you want to work on the family and then you then focus more on expansion.
Yeah.
So what happens if the family starts before the empire gets built?
If the family starts before the empire gets built, they will just help me with my empire. They'll find areas. I have so much to do in the empire. So they'll find areas that's interesting to them and then they will help mommy work on her dream. But no, that's not true. My children they'll have free will. I'm not going to force them to work in my empire. But yeah.
Little child laborers.
Yeah. And my little fear won't feel stress. But don't worry. I feel like when the time comes, I will figure it out. I always figure it out. So when the time comes, if it happens, I will work around it. And I will have a supportive partner that will want the best for me because he'll know my dreams and my goals and he'll want to like push me towards it. So he'll be supportive. So I will have a shoulder to lean on when I'm planning around. Yeah, if things come.
That vision board, you definitely have it planned out.
I'm just putting that out there.
That's good. I mean, you put it out and the universe will respond,
Yeah, pretty much.
I like that you definitely not going to let it stop you.
Yeah.
I find it unfortunate when most times, or at least back in the days at least, that when a woman gets pregnant and then her career goes on the back foot.
True.
I always found that not fair, whereas the man continues his life as normal, but the woman has to leave school or leave the job and get a new job or whatever. And I like that you're not going to subscribe to that.
Now, but before, like I'm 27. Everyone like, oh, you should have children already. But yeah, before my mentality was like, children will stop my progress, and that's what like people from the olden days would say. So like my grandparents would say that, my parents would say that like children would stop you. But as of recent, I've been hearing very accomplished people saying like they had their child and then the child didn't stop them because they had a vision. And knowing me, I like from the time I had my mindset, I had my vision, so I don't think it would have stopped me. Yeah, but then when you're around an environment where people say like that's definitely going to stop you, you have to pause everything, you'll not be able to accomplish your goals, your dreams, you get afraid and you're like, okay, you know what, I'm going to no, I don't want to know children. So yeah, definitely I had subscribed to it, but I unsubscribed to it the moment I became aware of exactly how the mind works. So yeah.
And we touched on mindset a little bit earlier, and that is all of what you're saying is exactly that. You know, writing it down is your mindset.
Yeah.
Your environment, which you just mentioned, is affects your mindset.
Yeah.
All these things affect you guys. So what I'm to my point is, my recommendation is to change your environment to the best of your ability to that feeds your goals.
True.
That feeds your mind, not rather than make you subscribe to things that go against what you want and what you feel like you can achieve.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that doesn't mean run away from home.
Yeah, don't.
I'm not saying run away from home. I'm just saying simply get, let's say, a new group of friends who think like that. Perhaps hang out less with your old group of friends that all you want to do is just go and drink and basically opposite to what you want. Something as simple as that, at least letting your parents know what you want. So try to stop telling me these things. Let's know, okay, I want to do this is where I want to go.
And be straight with them. So they can see like you know what you're about. Because my parents, like, they know what I'm about. They know like I have a good head on my shoulder. So if I tell them something, they know I'm about that life. Yeah, I'm not going to be like babying or like, but that all happened when I left there. Because when I was here, I had how would I say that, I was dependent and I wasn't very much independent. I was like, I need my mother to go and help me get my ID card. I need my mother to go and help me pay a bill. Like, I was like a mommy and daddy's girl until I went to Canada by myself. So that's where changing your environment and moving out of your comfort zone is important for your mindset as well too. So when I left Saint Lucia and I went to Canada, I spent a couple months with a year and a couple months with family. But it's like I still was on my own, even if like I had family. And then when I left my family, I was on my own and I had to figure out everything for myself. So that grew my mind. I learned a lot. I had a lot of free time. I barely had friends because all my friends I went to school with, they were in a different city to where I moved out. And then I was in the midst of COVID, so they had limited mingling. So I had a lot of time to myself. I watch a lot of YouTube, I read. So like all these things, just taking space from people that can influence, because humans are very influential. So just taking time away from people and spending time with yourself and just learning what you want and asking God for your purpose, to show you your purpose. Because you can have a dream and if it doesn't, like, that's not the right timing or it's not aligned to who you have to be, it will never work out for you. And that's my belief. So spending time asking God for your purpose and showing you your purpose, spending time learning yourself, learning your flaws, learning your red flags, even if it might not go away one time, but just learning and being aware of these things help you grow your mindset. They always say it's important for you to move out of your childhood neighborhood when you're in your 20s, just so you could just experience life differently before you move into like actually being an adult. Yeah, because sometimes in our 20s we still like we just like baby adults. And I heard someone said that once, like, I'm just like if she's 26, I'm just a 6-year-old adult. Like, what do you mean I'm supposed to have everything figured out?
A 6-year-old adult. I like that.
And then the moment I heard the girl say that, I'm like, wait, I'm only a 7-year-old adult. Why am I beating up myself? Like,
I really like that. That's a very refreshing thing. Like, you can't expect to be perfect at it, and we all just started. That's interesting.
Yeah. It really changed. Like, it really shifted my mindset. Like, and when you watch, like, the millionaires, I'm not talking about those that just, like, started from the bottom and they reach on top one time. I'm talking about those that took time to grow. And then when they were, like, in their 40s or their 50s, then they became millionaires. I don't have the examples right off my head, but they have, is it Obama that gave his story? I can't remember. But I know I heard from a lot of, like, rich and wealthy people that they got rich and wealthy late, like around 40, 50. I'm like, if they figured it out when they were, like, this age, why am I beating up myself as a 6-year-old adult to have everything figured out?
Right.
And social media can do that to you. Because you're seeing these people on YouTube making millions of dollars, and then they have nice house, nice car, nice this, and you're like, what am I doing? I'm not doing enough. Yeah, but then when you reprogram your mind, I'm like, this is where I am right now, and I'm a 6-year-old adult. I'm going to learn all what I need to learn. I still in the learning processes. And then when I reach 10 years or when I reach 20 years as an adult, then I could say, like, okay, that's what I've accomplished. Or if I didn't accomplish, then I could beat up myself. Because you had 20 years in this life, understanding this life. What did you do?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So a 20-year-old adult to be 40.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that new perspective.
Yeah. You changed my life.
And you mentioned, like, leaving your childhood home or neighborhood, whatever.
Yeah.
That talks to new experiences.
Yeah.
Definitely learning new experiences, and that doesn't mean you have to go far, as far as Canada.
Yeah.
It even just mean if you grew up in Vieux-Fort, go to the north. If you live in north, go south, and just being by yourself, like you mentioned, it definitely, like, shapes.
Matures you.
Yeah, because it shapes you, it matures you. Yeah. I think that definitely is a big factor to, like you mentioned, the mindset and whatnot. And I genuinely, since I came back from Canada myself, I always said that I wish that upon every solution. Like, again, doesn't have to be as far as Canada. It could be UE, go to Barbados.
Yeah.
And that's a different experience.
Cross the shores of Saint Lucian. Or of where your family is. So you have a big family in Vieux-Fort, like, you cannot shift without your family doing your every move. So it's like everything you know is your family, what your family taught you, what you learned from your family. When you go somewhere else and you realize people are actually doing something different, then you'll be like, wait, what? They have different ways to do different things? Yeah. So we can move from Vieux-Fort and move up to Castries.
Right.
Different one time.
Right. So, final thoughts. What have you said that you want to re-emphasize, or what haven't you said that you want the viewers to know?
Okay, so the first thing is create a vision board for yourself. So you know at all times where you headed, like, what's your end goal. So it could be you make it on Pinterest and you watch it, you screenshot it and you put it on your phone screen, like what I did, or you make an actual board. You print out the pictures and then you make an actual board. You will check out my YouTube video too, show you how to do that. Another thing is, if you have a dream, stick to it and be consistent. Don't wait until you're perfect, because nothing in this life is perfect. Just, like, stick to your dreams. What else? Getting out of your comfort zone, for sure, is a big one. I think that's it.
That's about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming. Thanks again for coming.
Problem.
It was a pleasure having you. And I hope that my viewers would have gotten a lot of good gems from this episode. And definitely, hopefully, see you around again.
Yes. I have to do a follow-up.
Thanks again for watching, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Hey there, Alpha Pack. Thanks again for watching this week's episode. Continue the discussion on our community Discord. Every week, I'll have the guest come in and answer you guys' questions. The link will be in the description below. See you there.